Today you will meet someone who overcame a difficult childhood and major setbacks with the help of a unique partner.
Absolutely. Forbes has listed him as one of the highest paid entertainers. But it almost didn't happen for today's guest, ventriloquist Terry Fator.
It's going to be a great show. Stay with us for this edition of Lifestyle Magazine.
This is Lifestyle Magazine with your hosts, Dr. Charmaine Long, Obi Obidike, Lionel LaMountain, and Mike Tucker.
One magazine noted that his overnight success took only 25 years. Terry Fator currently has a show at the Mirage Hotel in Las Vegas. Welcome, Terry.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
My wife and I went to your show a few months ago, and dude, you rock.
Oh, thank you.
It's one of the few shows you can go to in Vegas and not really blush the whole time.
I love that. I love that. I think I've 6 years in a row, I've been voted the #1 family-friendly show on the Strip.
I believe
I'm very proud of that.
Absolutely believe it. So what got you started in this anyway?
Started doing ventriloquism when I was 10, but from the time I was a little kid, 2 years old, I knew I wanted to entertain. That was going to be my goal, was to be an entertainer. I didn't know if I wanted to be a TV star or a radio disc jockey.
Yeah.
Didn't matter. I just wanted to entertain.
Had you seen a ventriloquist that inspired you, or how did you choose that?
Not really. I'd seen ventriloquists and they were horrible. And even as a 5-year-old, I remember thinking, this guy's terrible.
This is bad.
So, they come to my church and things, and I'm thinking, oh, this is awful.
So it wasn't like you had a good example.
No, but I found a book on how to do ventriloquism, and it looked intriguing, and I was kind of I love to do the talent shows every year.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, there's no other ventriloquists, so I'm going to try this. And so I went and bought a little puppet at Sears. And $10.
$10.
Got my little puppet, and I wrote a little routine. Or I didn't really write a routine. I think I did a Jose Jimenez routine.
Oh, yeah?
You remember Jose?
Yeah, I do remember.
My name Jose Jimenez.
My name Jose.
And I had a little puppet about it. My name Jose Jimenez, and the teenage baseball star. And I'm like,
yeah.
So I would. So that was my first routine, was doing old Jose Jimenez routines that I had memorized from my dad's collection.
Did it work? Did you win?
It did.
Oh,
I did. Yes, I always did very well.
That's great.
Now, it was a pretty long path to major success for you.
It was.
Did you ever feel like giving up during that process?
Oh, gosh, yes, many times. There was one show that was maybe less than a year before I went on America's Got Talent. And I played for a 1,000-seat theater in near Houston, Texas, and one person showed up.
One person?
One person. And I'm up there, and I'm doing the show. And, I had such a good attitude. I'm like, well, you know what? I'm here. They're paying me. I'm going to do the show. Luckily, I wasn't being paid by the ticket. So
that check had already
exactly yes. So I'm going to do the show. So I get up there and I start doing my show, and my sister is sitting over running my merchandise booth, which we know we're going to sell a lot with. And she is laughing so hard, and I'm just doing this show, And all of a sudden, 4 more people come in, and I'm thinking, oh, this is great. I'm finally getting an audience and everything.
Yeah.
And it was the custodial crew, and they were folding the chairs up. 10 minutes into my show. So I said, well, I guess the show's over when the custodial crew comes in and starts folding the chairs. So I brought the kid up, and afterwards, and I gave him a set. I gave him a DVD and a CD and some different things. I said, well, sorry, the show didn't do. And the funny thing is, I've had like 5 people tell me they were that kid, and I don't think it wasn't after America's Got Talent. Kid. But yeah, so after that, honestly, I was really discouraged. I was like, and what am I doing? I'm banging my head against the wall. And then it was go to work at Taco Bell or, get a real job or keep doing it. And I thought it was kind of at that point when I was like, you know what, I'm going to do this because I love doing it. And it's not going to be about getting rich and famous. It probably is never going to happen. Who's ever going to really care about a 40-year-old ventriloquist? And I started really just focusing on the craft as opposed to what I hoped to gain from the craft. And then kaboom, a year later.
Well, you were obviously skilled at this. I mean, I'm intrigued as I watch you work. It's an incredible gift that you have. And to say it's a gift cheapens it because you've worked hard to do this.
Yeah. It is a gift, though. I mean, it's something. It's you got the story in the Bible about where Jesus told about the king who gave talents, which was money, but and one buried it and didn't do anything. Well, God gave me the gift, and what I do with it is up to me.
Absolutely.
And I've worked very hard. I'm probably one of the hardest working people in show business because I never stop.
Is that right?
Because I love it. I love performing.
Does that take a toll on your health, though?
No, because I'm loving it. It's not. for me, it's not hard. It's mentally grueling, but I make sure I get plenty of sleep and I play video games.
The stress
gotta
is
get the
different.
exercise.
The stress is different when it's something that you really enjoy and feel passionate about.
It really helps to have a wife that's supportive.
That is the key too, isn't it?
You know, I have this, she just creates this haven, this place of peace for me. I've never had that in my life, and we've been married 4 years, and 4 years I've had 4 years of peace.
Everybody needs that, right?
We do.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
you're
We
with.
really do.
Yeah,
Well, I'm happy for you
absolutely.
that you've had that.
Thank you.
That's good.
Thank
So are we gonna meet your buddy?
Yes, we can. You know, from what I understand, my buddy is Winston,
Yeah.
who, by the way, won America's Got Talent.
Yeah, he won.
Turtle,
Just happened to be there.
a turtle singing like Roy Orbison. And a cool
Yeah.
story with that is Roy Orbison's wife emailed me after that performance and told me, "Thank you for letting me hear my husband's voice again." So
Wonderful.
that was quite a moment.
That is a compliment.
But Winston is not here, but his stand-in will be here.
You got to stand in.
Yes.
A body double.
And
something
a
like
body double, and he's actually performed on stage. Where one time my puppets got lost, and I still had some little merchandise turtles, and I brought him up and did the whole show.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And then I auctioned him off for charity afterwards. And I think somebody paid $1,500.
Wow.
It all went to charities.
Well, that's good.
Only
That's
really
great.
important people get to have a body double.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
So Winston's got his. Yeah.
We need to take a break, but when we come back, we're going to meet Terry's sidekick. Welcome back. Terry, introduce us to your part.
Well, I'm Winston the impersonating turtle.
Wait, you're Winston the impersonating turtle?
Okay, Junior.
Yeah. So he's when the real Winston can't be here.
I only stand in
The body double.
until I
Winston-
get sold into slavery. No,
He's one of the little guys that I sell at merchandise.
I got you.
Because Winston's very popular, so
He is
may
very
not-
popular,
He has a busy schedule.
Yes, he does have a very busy schedule. The truth is that my assistant forgot to bring Winston on the text this morning. So
we got the
if
body
if the assistant doesn't tell me, I don't do it.
That's all right. Well, Winston, you don't mind if I refer to you as Winston?
No,
then
not at all.
All right, very good. Who's had the biggest hand in your success?
that's a pun, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And a very corny pun.
Yes,
it is.
very
But I was told to ask that, and so now I've done it. I'm embarrassed for having
That's a
done it.
good question, though.
But,
I'm glad it was you.
yeah, that is me.
Should I say Terry?
Yes, I have definitely had the biggest hand in it.
So what's it like working with this guy?
He needs a manicure.
I bet he does.
Tell us, are there some things about Terry that are difficult to put up with?
Yeah, his hand.
No, it's really a lot of fun being a ventriloquist, and that was something that I used. I was popular as a kid because I was funny. Never popular with the girls, because nobody goes into ventriloquism to get chicks. That's
You get
for
sure. That's right. You sing in the band, but
Exactly.
you don't go. Yeah.
But one thing, I was able to diffuse a lot of the teasing and a lot of the bullying through humor.
Yeah.
And of course, doing ventriloquism, I could, if somebody was picking on me, I could make it sound like somebody was coming down the hall.
Yeah.
And which always was a good,
always,
it's like,
always good. Yeah.
what are you kids doing back there? It's like, so I could just get them all excited.
Yeah.
And get them to leave me alone.
You mentioned during break that you had some difficult times as a child. Talk to us
I
about
did, yeah. We had a very, my parents had a terrible marriage, a lot of fighting and screaming. I was physically abused and emotionally and mentally abused by my father, and it was difficult. And I really found my solace in God. I just, I didn't know much about God. My dad had a very warped view of who God was.
Happens very often with abusers.
Yes, it does. But I always would turn to God, and that kind of kept me from turning to alcohol and drugs, and I never did go down those roads.
But were the puppets also a part of the escape from the reality of your life?
Probably. Yeah, I think they were. I don't look at it and go, yeah, I created my own little friends.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
No, but I never. But what I would do is I would use my talent and creativity to create routines, and never really to help me, but to help others. Because I always had this feeling that as long as I was making other people happy, it would make me happy. And you know what? It worked.
Yeah.
Well, again, I've seen other people who have had great talent, who have had the difficult upbringing, who find there's either solace in it or they find the escape in it. and it seems to have kept you kind of centered.
Yes, it has, definitely. And I really focus on trying to, I focus again on my audience. It's never about me. It's never about becoming rich and famous. It's never about, oh, I want to make more money than God. I want to create something that my audience will fall in love with.
Absolutely.
And you've done that though, even, again, I went to your show, and all your concessions, the proceeds from there go to your foundation. You help the families of veterans?
I do. Well, I have the Terry Fator Foundation,
Yeah.
which serves veterans, which serves first responders,
Right.
children of
Exactly,
veterans.
yeah.
But we've also expanded it to help kids with cancer and to help kids with arthritis and blind kids and
Wow.
different people
Yeah.
with different disabilities, and it's just about helping. I look at it and I go, God has blessed me so much in so many ways, and there's only so much money a person needs.
Yeah,
There
that's
really is. I have no desire to be the richest man in the world. My desire when I'm gone is for people to say, wow, he really made a difference. He made life better.
He's really given you a unique ability to be able to do that.
He has, yes.
But I want to hear from Winston as to what it felt like when you won America's Got Talent.
I wasn't there.
No, don't just pretend you're one.
I'm sorry, yes. Oh, it was amazing.
You remember you're playing Winston.
That's right.
Yeah. And you did very well too.
Thank you.
I'm impressed.
I
Yeah.
sang,
Crying over you. So that's what I do, is I do impressions of singers through puppets.
Yeah.
And weirdly, I can sing like anyone, literally anyone in the world that I've
can.
ever tried,
can.
and I do it without moving my lips, and I make it look like a puppet's doing
Yeah.
it.
It's amazing.
That is amazing.
So what is your own voice like when you sing?
It took me a long time to find my
Yeah.
own voice, but it did. I
That sounds
didn't
funny to
know.
say, but
I didn't know how to sing like me.
Yeah.
And I think the best I've done, but I've even gotten better since then. But I released an album called "It Starts Tonight," and it's available at my shows. And again, all the proceeds, all the profits go to charity.
And you got me there. I don't usually buy from those concession stands when I go to a show like that. I bought from you.
Well, thank you.
I bought from you, buddy.
Well, thank you.
Got me.
And the recipients of the money, thank
that's
you too.
right.
So that's very nice of you. But I was able to work on my own sound.
Yeah.
And I do now have my own sound. And I just really kind of sing from my heart. For me, it's about singing. I wrote a song for my wife, Angie, when and I actually made it our vows, and I sang it to her
Did you
as
really?
my vow to her.
Beautiful.
You proposed to her at a show, didn't you?
I did, yes, I did.
Oh.
I sang, well, we had just met. And are you listening?
I am.
Okay. So, but we had just met, and this is just natural. Like when you talk, he's going to look at you. It's just the way
that's right. I've noticed
I'm
that.
used to it. But yeah, my wife, we had just met. We had been dating for a couple of months, and we knew, we just felt it. We knew we were soulmates. We did. And she had waited until she was 52 and never married because she wanted to wait for the right man. And she knew I was instantaneous. Within a week, she knew.
Of all things.
And at my 50th birthday party, which she arranged, she sang "This Girl's in Love," which was "This Guy's in Love." She had changed it. And we had a band, and she had rehearsed, and it was the sweetest thing ever. So I sang "This Guy's in Love" to her on stage.
awesome.
She had no idea. She didn't have makeup on. She was wearing sweats. And I pull her on stage, and I got the whole thing on video.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, we're going to have to take a break, but when we come back, we're going to have your wife with us. She's going to
Okay.
join. Winston, you want to take us out and just say we'll be right back?
We'll be right back.
Awesome.
How was that?
Perfect.
Yeah. This is a job for you, television.
Welcome back. Angie Fator, Terry's wife, joins us. Thank you for coming, Angie. I just have to know, how did you guys meet?
That's a great story, actually. So she didn't know who I was.
You didn't know him?
And she had no idea. So they told her that her friend, that kind of our mutual friend, friends to both of us, and but we didn't know each other. And her friend said, "You should look this guy up. You know, he's a famous ventriloquist." And she thought I was another ventriloquist, a different one. She's like, "I saw him on TV. I don't like him."
You don't like it?
And it's like, okay.
won't say who that
so,
is,
But you know, she didn't. But it was a different person. And I had a mutual friend in the Dallas area, and I was doing a charity event in my hometown where I hadn't been in 30 years, and I was suddenly famous, and it's kind of a big deal. So I was coming back to raise some money for the old theater that I used to work with when I was a teenager. And I said, I need a caterer. And this girl says, oh, I know a caterer. Unbeknownst to us, she's thinking, I'm going to put these two together. So, but unfortunately, she had set Angie up. You dealt with...
I don't know why. My friend Jules had set me up with 2 other guys earlier in the year. I had more in common with that bull than with either of them. And so when, you know, she and Terry's sister Debbie actually were the ones that hired me. I never got to meet Terry until the evening of the event. And so they had, behind the scenes, were in cahoots with one another.
I see.
And they wanted to invite me to a kind of an intimate brunch the next day so that the 2 of us would actually meet and talk. And so, I'm sorry, I totally lost my train of thought.
The intimate brunch?
Yeah, so, well, she did not have any idea. And she had already been set up with 2 guys that were duds. So she's going,
She wasn't
oh, God.
excited about it.
Here we go again.
And this girl, I was single, and she goes, you know, I want to bring this lady, and she's single too. And I said, sure, why not? But I had sworn off. I was like, I'm done. No more dating. I'm done with women. I'm done. And then I think it was a week later that we were professing our diehard love for one another.
So it happened really fast.
Oh gosh! Well, on the way to Disneyland, which was perfect.
Yeah.
We love Disney, and I especially love Disney.
Yeah.
So I was driving her on her first weekend together. It was the Saturday after we had that brunch.
Yeah.
And I was driving her to Disneyland. And about halfway there, we had spent a few days together. And I said, you're going to think I'm crazy, but I think I'm falling in love with you. And she said, oh, I'm so glad you just said that because I am too. And we were like, this really is, because I've never experienced anything. It was literally like being struck by lightning.
Really?
And I'd never had anything like that happen to me, ever.
So you're a caterer, you own your business?
Yes.
Is that right?
I had a very successful catering and event planning company in Dallas for almost 20 years.
You see, I'm a Dallas boy, so I should have looked you up there.
You should have.
To my
could've
credit,
catered to do
I
that.
fell in love with her before I tasted her food. Because I was too busy the night she did the catering job,
To really
and I
eat
never got to
anything.
have one bite of anything. But
Oh, no.
everybody raved and said, oh my gosh, the food was amazing. It was
Yeah.
the best. So I'm thinking, well, that's good. We did a good job hiring a caterer.
That's good, yeah.
Now, Angie, I'm married. Almost 20 years, and I have a hard enough time with communication sometimes with my husband. What is it like with Winston in the mix? It's kind of a third person, so to speak.
And all the other puppets as well.
You know, if I had $1 for every time someone asked if the puppets
Yeah.
came home with us,
Yeah.
they don't, for the most part, unless he's working on a very particular
Right.
routine that he needs to practice intensely. They don't come home, so... although I do have my own relationship with Winston. He doesn't know about it.
Oh, really?
I'm perfectly okay with that.
That's all right. So, but being married to this guy has got to have his downfalls too. Some accommodations you have to make. Is that true or not?
You know, I really don't feel that way. I really don't. He's an amazing man. I'm extremely proud of him, proud to be his wife. You know, our life is wonderful. Don't get me wrong. We're just like normal people. We've had our health issues and family issues and whatnot.
The downs of life.
Yes. But in general, our personal relationship is somewhat of a fairy tale. And, you know, it's a joy to be around him. He sings and jokes and,
Well, Terry has mentioned his faith more than once. He's mentioned God. Is that a part of your experience as
It
well?
is. And in fact, I've said this on more than one occasion. I feel like as much as we are soulmates, the real reason why we're together is because we are on the same, our faith is on the same
It's the
plane.
same wavelength with
Yes.
God. So faith has really been a major component of this relationship.
Yes. Yes.
And that's where you can have peace, when you're both on the same wavelength.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
we both love God and trust God, and we know. And a cool story was she didn't know who I was, and then we'd been dating a few weeks, and she calls her sister, and she goes, I'm dating this guy from Las Vegas, and have you ever heard of this guy Terry Fator? And her sister's like, oh my God, I voted for him. So her sister voted for him, America's Got Talent.
On
And
America's
she
Got
had never
Talent.
even heard of me.
Yeah.
So it was kind of quite a shock for the family to find out that Angie, and then she marries me. You know?
So everybody in the family was really excited.
Very excited.
We're pretty sure her parents saw me too. It was just the kind of show. They're both gone now, but it's just the kind of show they would have loved.
they
So
would have.
we're pretty sure they saw. So.
Well, thank you so much for being here, both of you. And we're running out of time, unfortunately. We'll be right back in a few minutes.
Thank you, guys.
We all make mistakes and fail, and we all get tired and want to quit. What if I said that quitting just might be the healthiest thing you could do? I'm not suggesting you should stop persevering. I'm not saying you should give up on your dreams. I am saying make sure it's your dream. Sometimes we inherit a dream. It's not really ours. And so we spend our whole life living someone else's dream or expectation. An authentic dream ignites you. So the next time you feel like quitting, like Terry Fator did, ask yourself, is this really my dream? Does it bring me joy? If you know it's your dream, but you feel like giving up anyway, choose 2 or 3 very small goals to stay the course and keep your dream alive. Confucius wasn't wrong when he said, does not matter how slowly you go, so long as you do not stop. Life is too short to live other people's dreams. Never quit on your dreams.
You know, you see people on camera, on television, in the movies, on stage, and you wonder if they're as nice in person as they are on camera. And the truth is, this guy's the real deal. He's as nice in person as he presents himself in his show.
Absolutely, and that's really reflected in how much he gives back to charity and to the community. It's really inspirational.
It's rare to find someone who has that much humility and can stay grounded with the amount of success he's had.
Right.
You know, I'm impressed. Yeah.
No, I'm glad you asked him the question about faith. The #1 entertainer in Las Vegas.
Right.
Here, openly talking about his faith. What an encouragement to us.
And how ironic is that? In
In Las Vegas, of all places. Yeah, but yes, he is. We want to thank you for being a part of this one. We look forward to seeing you again next time. But until then, you take care of yourself. Bye-bye.
To get a copy of today's offer, please call 888-940-0062 and be sure to visit our website at lifestyle.org.